New York is a crazy place.
$15 for a lemonade drink.
And it's probably one of the craziest places I've ever been to in my life.
I've never opened my American mail and not seen a bill.
It's also one of the most creative cities on the planet, with a story or an interaction just waiting for you around every corner. But sometimes it can get a little bit too much, like it did for me. And this video is about why I left.
Welcome to New York!
We're going to be jumping on a helicopter that has its doors open.
So I've been traveling continuously for the past 3 years, and recently I got a chance to visit America and ended up staying in New York for 30 days.
Guys, one of the coolest parts about New York is just stepping out of your house, anything can happen. There's a story around every corner. You can just stand and dance and jump around. You can even shout.
During these 30 days, I got to explore New York, the lifestyle, food.
Let's dig in.
The energy.
So many people on this side.
And it was awesome until it wasn't. I was trying to figure out my way out as regards what type of content did I want to create and what type of content was going to resonate with my audience. What stories did I want to tell? And it got to a point where it got really overwhelming.
Constantly working, you're constantly on the grind, and it can get extremely exhausting.
They don't call it New York tough for no reason.
In New York, so many things are happening at the same exact time, and trying to experience them and capture them at the same time is a lot. This led to a lot of overthinking, which eventually led to me being worried about the kind of content I was creating, which eventually led to my brain overworking, which led to inaction at the end of the day, and sadly burnout.
I wish y'all could see what's behind the camera. Tired.
It's crazy how you can be in New York and you can have thousands of people around you and you still end up feeling alone, which is how I felt while I was there. This feeling of mental exhaustion is not uncommon to me as a creator.
Oh yeah. You're too close to me now.
Every time I go to a new country and I have to make content, I have to figure out my way and how to go about it fast. Being in a place like New York, where there are 1 million things to do at every given moment, made it more overwhelming.
Have you ever felt lost in life? That's a good reaction.
It's estimated that the average adult makes about 35,000 remotely conscious decisions each day, and each decision would lead to different destinations, both good and bad. While I was in New York figuring out how to make videos, this decision process was multiplied by 10. Where to eat, what to do, where to stay, should I walk or should I go with the train? I still also needed to think about what I wanted to shoot, what story I wanted to tell, who I wanted to meet up with. It was too much.
It's like you're always on the go. There's always something to do. I gotta go here, I gotta do this.
It will force you to evaluate, like, why am I here? What am I doing here? What do I really want? And is this really the place that I can achieve that?
So I found this article online that talks about how living in a big city can affect your mental health. The constant stimulation of city life can propel the body into a stressful state known as the fight or flight response. This can make us more vulnerable to mental health concerns such as depression, anxiety, and substance use. What's more, young adults, especially millennials, often feel burnt out, a stressful state of mental and physical exhaustion that can squeeze the joy out of life. And I think finally, the last part here says, for young adults living in cities that never sleep, this belief may be intensified, adding to the psychological hardship of urban dwelling. I needed to find myself again, and here is how I figured it out. Spend time outdoors. Finding a place to spend time outdoors in a concrete jungle like New York City is pretty difficult. So I called my friend KK and he told me about the spots in the outskirts of the city that I have never been to before.
New York is also expensive.
It is so damn expensive.
Everybody says New York is expensive. I toured an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment that cost like $7,000 a month. Now we are on the other side of New York. Are apartments as expensive as they are in New York as they are here?
Everything is way cheaper than what it would be in New York City. The taxes are different also.
Oh,
the sales
really?
tax, yeah. So a 2-bedroom around in New York State would be somewhere around like 3,000, 3,500. That range.
Wow. So that's like half the price.
That's literally like half the price, yes.
When people talk about New York, what they talk about is the high-rise buildings and the skyscrapers. Today I want to show you guys a side of New York that you guys have never seen before. I'm currently here with KK.
So we're driving upstate and this is like the scenic view. I think this is the Bronx or Harlem right now.
So currently this is where we're at. This is the Hudson River right here, and that is New York on this side. This is Harlem, probably Harlem. And there's a spot here where we can sit down. When you see like people like me on the internet, you just kind of like feel like we have it all figured out, but we actually don't have it all figured out. I think every single day I wake up, I'm still trying to figure it out, and sometimes it can get very mind-boggling and very tasking. Apart from the fact that I want to show you guys what upstate New York looks like, it's kind of like a trip away from the city, away from the hustle and bustle, just a trip for peace, because it hasn't been easy making videos though. It has not been easy.
Outside New York City, you have Long Island, where you have the best beaches. You have upstate New York, where you have so much fresh air, so much country, so you can have a feel of everything.
We are currently lost. GPS is not working.
We are just driving. We don't know where we're going to. We are finally here. When people think about New York, you think about buildings, but imagine, there's a waterfall just right there. What's going on this place and what happened here?
It's called the Cloton George Park. It's like an hour, 30 minutes away from New York. It's just to come relax, just get away from like the hustle, the bustle of New York City, just quiet, waterfall sounds, nature. I just come here to relax and just think and just be creative.
One of the reasons I love coming to beautiful places like this is to find peace and clarity. One of the ways I've been able to find peace and slow down is by getting a therapist from BetterHelp, which is the sponsor of today's video.
Whether you have a clinical mental issue like depression or anxiety, or you are just a human who lives in this world and you're feeling burnt out like I did, therapy can give you the tools to approach life differently. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy affordable and accessible to everybody. And this is essential because finding a therapist can be challenging, especially when you have limited options in your area. BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist easier because it's online. And by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp can match you to a professional therapist in as little as a few days.
This is an app that I've used myself and that has helped me find mental clarity.
It's easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist. There's a link in my description. It's betterhelp.com/Aina. Clicking on that link helps to support this channel, but it also gives you 10% off your first month with BetterHelp. So you can connect with the therapist and see if that helps you. And because finding a therapist is like dating, if you don't fit with that therapist, which is a common thing with therapy, you can easily switch to a new therapist at no additional cost without stressing about insurance, who is in your network, or anything like that. Speaking with a therapist has helped me, and if you're struggling, you should consider online therapy with betterhelp.com. Click the link in the description or visit betterhelp.com to get started. Thank you again, BetterHelp, for supporting this channel.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm doing a meetup today at Bryant Park in New York City. I'm super excited, dude, but I'm also kind of like scared in the bit. Like, oh, will people turn up? I don't know. We'll eventually figure it out.
Another thing that affected me about living in New York for the first time was the lack of community. As somebody who is constantly on the road and who is traveling from one country to the other, I always have to build a new community every time I go to a new country. The great part about this is that I have a community all across the world. The bad part about this was coming to a fast-paced city like New York and not knowing anybody and trying to build a community was very difficult.
Say hi to the vlog. What's your favorite thing about New York?
Favorite thing, the food, the culture, the people. Anything you want to do in the city, you can go do it. It's a party here. You go uptown, downtown, different boroughs. Least favorite thing, I'm a New Yorker, so I don't have too many least favorite things, but sometimes the people get aggressive and they make you get aggressive. But at the end of the day, it's still love in New York, so that's what I like about it.
My favorite thing about living in New York is networking. So, for example, on a Sunday you can be talking to Aina, and on a Saturday you can be going to a Tiwa Savage concert.
New York was very different for me because of the individualistic culture that a lot of people have here. This is common with most big cities across the world. The hustle and bustle of these places make people have this fight or flight mode on at all times due to the number of bills hanging over their necks, making it hard to survive and connect with one another.
Whatever it is, you're gonna spend money in this country. And that's why I think everybody's works so hard, because you can't just exist and there's no cousin or community or family to help you. It's literally just you, yourself, and yourself.
My least favorite thing would probably be how cutthroat it is. People aren't really willing to share resources or like help you, even if they know what can help you.
The rats, yeah, in the city,
rats?
Huge rats.
That's not your rats.
Oh yeah, you not. We need to get you in. They're well known for the rats. Yeah, but really, it's great to be in New York.
I eventually found a community of people who were open and welcoming, and many of them could relate to what I was going through. This set of friends made my stay in New York a whole lot better.
Everybody say hi to the vlog.
I believe life without people can be meaningless, and human beings are not meant to exist alone. Great friends are like a gift from God because they make your light shine a little more brighter. Another way I've dealt with burnout is to open myself to new experiences.
Guys, one of the best things to do if you're in New York is to fly on a helicopter over New York City. And I'm currently at Flying On, and we're going to be jumping on a helicopter that has its doors opened. And I have Sophie here with me. We're going to sit down here and have our legs stretching out over the city like this.
Tayo literally said, Sophie, you want to go on a helicopter ride? And I said, sure. Me, I'm thinking like a normal human being. The helicopter will have doors, and it's going to have, you know, safety and security.
When you
We're going to
retire,
be dangling over New York City.
yeah, when you retire, you have to live on the wild side.
Gang. Wait, are you lighter than me?
Yeah, like you have a flashlight, like light skin girl. We're currently wearing the harness before we get on the flight. Safety first. How you feeling?
Tired.
Nervous.
I have my phone in the harness for safety, so it doesn't just drop off from the sky. We are all on a journey of self-discovery in whatever fields we pursue and in whatever places across the world we live. We go through periods of ebb and flow. Sometimes things go well and sometimes they don't. And that's just life.
I don't think anything in life you can argue and say one is worth it or not. I think you figure out how to make things balance. And I think my balance is that I'm getting peace of mind in the city. I'm chasing my dreams. The jobs I'm working in New York City are able to pay. I can afford the life I live. So I'm okay with living it.
My approach to life has been to find ways to make the down moments bearable, and this mostly comes by willing to change something. My idea of change was living in New York City and trying out new activities when I felt burnt out. You might not live in New York City, but you can make a change by example, walking outside your house instead of staying indoors all day, leaving the busy city behind and spending more time in nature, or it could even be just changing the music you listen to. Sometimes it could be traveling to a whole new country if you can afford it. I don't know how you do with yours, but make sure you change something today.
This was like therapy for me, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.